Hey kids, I'm Abhishek and I welcome you all to Byju's classes. How are you all doing? I'm sure all of you are busy preparing for your board exams and some of you may be worried and nervous as well. But why worry when Byju's is there to help? Alright, so in this session, I'll be sharing with you the tips and tricks to maximize your score in maths board exam. So to ace in any exam or to ace in any field of life, you require three basic things. First is strategy, then it's guidance, and then it's dedication, which requires intense practice. So the tips and strategies that I'll be sharing today have been beneficial to a lot of students. They have all been tried and tested, right? So there's an old saying which says practice makes a man perfect. But as our education system evolved, the saying has also evolved. So now the new saying is perfect practice makes the man perfect. So continue with this session, listen to the tips and tricks, and then you would know how to do that perfect practice. All right, so let's begin with the session and see what we are going to cover in today's session. So I'll be starting with overview of the mathematics paper, where I'll be discussing the paper pattern and the weightage of marks. After that, we'll be discussing the time schedule for revision. I'll tell you what is the best way to allocate the number of days that you have remaining before the board exams chapter wise, right? After that, I'll share with you the preparatory guidelines, which are really helpful. After that, I'll tell you what is the importance of mock papers and what is the best way to attempt them. And last but not the least, I'll be sharing some strategies and pro pointers that would help you ace your board exam. Alright, so let's move to the first segment, which is overview of the mathematics paper, right? So as you guys know that CBSE has reduced your syllabus by 30%. So these are the new units that would be coming in the exam, right? Also, it's very important to see the unit-wise marks weightage, which you can see right here. This would give you can analyze this and this would give you an idea of how much time you need to allocate to each unit. For example, algebra carries 20 marks, that's a lot. Geometry carries 15 marks, that's also a lot. So let's say you have covered algebra and geometry, which means you have covered 20 plus 15, that is 35 marks out of a total of 80 marks, and trust me, that's a lot. That means you've almost covered 50% of the syllabus. So unit-wise marks weightage is very important. So if you see the allocation, number systems has been allocated 6 marks, algebra 20 marks, coordinate geometry 6 marks, geometry 15 marks, trigonometry 12 marks, mensuration 10 marks, probability and statistics 11 marks. That's a total of 80 marks, right? So either you can make a note of it, or if you don't want to make a note of it, you can go and check it on the CBSE website, right? So very important that you plan your preparation according to this marks weightage, right? All right, so what do we have next? Next, we have the paper design and the types of questions. So basically, the exam would have 3 types of questions. The first one is the memory questions, which are easy solving questions or direct questions, right? So these are based on terms, basic concepts, facts. You compare quantities, organize or describe. The total marks for these are 43 and they have a weightage of 54%, right? Easy questions. After that, you have apply kind of questions where you solve problems by applying knowledge, facts or theorems. Now the marks for this is 19 and the weightage is close to 24%. And after that, this is slightly tricky. You have analyze kind of questions where you analyze the information provided and you make inferences, right? So basically you understand the problem statement and from that you make some analysis. For this, the marks allocated are 18 and the weightage is 22%, right? Okay, let's move ahead. After that, let's take a look at the paper pattern. So the paper basically has been divided into 2 parts, A and B, and part A has further been divided into 2 sections, section 1 and section 2. Now in section 1, you have objective type of questions, 16 questions, easy to solve. Each question carries 1 marks. The second section is case study type of questions where you have 4 case studies and I think each will have 4 sub parts. So each sub question carries 1 marks, right? So this is a new concept which has been introduced by CBSE. Now the case studies would be based on real life scenarios, right? So real life scenarios, but the concept obviously would be something that is coming from your textbook. In part B, you initially have very short answer type questions where you have 2 marks per question. In this, you don't need to write a lot, just the formula and the answer. After that, you have short answer type questions where you need to give some explanation, right? Much more than the previous section because it's 3 marks per question. And after that, you have long answer type questions where you need to give a lot of information. So here, each minute detail carries marks. And trust me, these are the ones where you can score a lot. Here, each question carries 5 marks, right? All right, now let's take a look at the time schedule on how you should be allocating the days you have left till the board exams and how you should use them wisely for your preparation. So you approximately, if we include March and April, you have approximately 61 days to prepare, right? Now, if you follow what we are just telling you, we have done a lot of research, a lot of analysis. So if you follow us, you still would have some days left, right? Now, what to do in those remaining days, we would come back to that in the later half of the session. But for now, if you see chapter wise, for real numbers, you should spend 2 days. Now, I'm saying this assuming that you give 3 hours per day to mathematics, right? All right. For polynomials, 2 days. It's very important that you strictly follow the number of days that I have written here, right? Pair of linear equations in 2 variables, 3 days. Quadratic equations, 3 days. Arithmetic progressions, 3 days. Triangles, 3 days. Coordinate geometry, 3 days. Trigonometry, 3 days. Some applications to trigonometry, 3 days. Circles, 3 days. Constructions, 3 days. Areas related to circles, 2 days. Surface areas and volumes, 3 days. Statistics, 2 days. Probability, 2 days. So if you add them all, that's a total of 40 days and you would still have 21 days remaining. And trust me, it's not important to go order-wise. You can go with any chapter. Start with any chapter, but make sure that you devote only these number of days. And if you find any chapter is tough, you can mark it and you can cover it later in the revision part. Alright, so now let's take a look at some of the preparatory guidelines that you would be needing during revision, right? So revision is very important because via revision, you can reflect on what you've already learned. And revision is basically relearning and that kinds of increases your confidence. So revision is very important. So now I would be telling you 2 techniques. The first one is label the questions. So when you're going through the first time through the textbook. So first let me tell you, NCERT textbook is everything that you need to be in sync, right? So all the formulas and all the theorems, you need to be perfect in that. So for the first time when you're going through the textbook, I want you to label the questions. So if you can solve a question very easily, I want you to mark it with the green color. And if there's a question that you can't solve or if you have trouble solving, mark it with the red color. So now these the questions marked with red color are the ones which you can revisit at the end of each chapter, right? So you revisit them, solve them 2 or 3 times. And also once you're done with the entire textbook, during your revision, when you do go through the chapters again, now during your revision, you need to go through only the questions which you have marked with red color, right? Because you know that these are the questions which you couldn't solve in the first attempt. So these are the questions which you would be solving in the second go, right? So labeling the questions is important. Also, I would want you to make a separate notebook for all the formula and theorems, right? So you can use this notebook on the go when you're traveling, whether you're going somewhere. It's very easy to, have a quick glance, and it's also very easy for quick revision. All right. So you have a lot of theorems. Now these theorems are also very important. Now close to 10 marks you would be getting from these theorems. We have listed here all the important theorems, right? So now you've close to 12 theorems, and I can assure you out of these 12, you would definitely get 2 at least. If we take a look at all the previous papers, Pythagoras theorem has been coming very frequently in the examinations, right? And if you can see, most of the theorems are from the triangles chapter. So from the triangles chapter, you have similarity theorems, BPT and its converse, Pythagoras theorem and its converse, and area theorems. In circles chapter, both the theorems related to tangents are very important. And after that, you have theorems on real numbers, which is fundamental theorem of arithmetic and proof of irrationality of root 2, root 3, root 5, right? Also, it's very important that when you're proving the theorem, you write each and every step, right? Do not miss out on any step because that might reduce your marks. So previously I told you that even if you go through all the chapters, you would still have 28 days remaining. So what do you do in those 28 days? You solve mock papers, right? Now you can get these mock papers from the CBSE website, or you can check past year paper, or also we would also be providing you some mock papers, right? We would have a separate session where we would be solving some mock papers and even 10th class old papers, right? So now solving mock papers is the best way to go through the entire syllabus in a glance, or go through the entire syllabus in just a matter of 3 hours. They say the more you sweat in practice, the less you bleed in the final battle. So that is why I say mock papers are very, very important to solve. All right, so let's take a look at the time distribution for the mock paper. We have done a lot of research and analysis, and this is what we have. So trust me, if you solve the mock papers religiously, you can very easily stand out from the crowd. So for the 1 marks question, you have 20 questions. If you give 2.5 minutes per question, the total time would be 50 minutes. For 2 marks question, you have 6 questions. If you give 5 minutes per question, you would have 30 minutes on this. For 3 marks question, 50 minutes again. For 4 marks question, 30 minutes again. So total of 160 minutes, and you still have 20 minutes remaining, right? And in those 20 minutes, you can go back, you can see the questions which you couldn't solve, you can give a quick glance at all the answers, right? So this is the time distribution for mocks. If you follow it religiously, you would still have some time left, right? Also, you can analyze your marks, right? So you analyze the mock paper, and that would give you certain things to notice. So the first one is you can assess your current level of preparation. You can see whether you got more marks or lesser marks. You can see which are your stronger areas, which are your weaker areas. But trust me, don't let it get to your head. Whether you get good marks or bad marks, it shouldn't get to your head. You should see which are your weaker areas, which are your weak points, and you should only learn from those, right? So it helps you assess your current level of preparation. You can maximize your strengths and minimize your weaknesses. So you can see this is my strong area or this is my weak area. So this is my strong area. I need not revise it again because it's very strong. Or this is my weak area. I'm losing marks in this, right? So you can revise that again and again. You can design an appropriate strategy. Like these are my weak areas. These are the number of days remaining. I can work on all of these weak areas. To avoid repeating the same mistakes, you can avoid the small mistakes, the silly mistakes. You can see in the mock paper, like this is the mistake. This is the small mistake which I'm making again and again. You can try to avoid that, right? So analyze the mock paper properly. That is very, very important. And the last week you can give for a quick revision, right? So in the last week, you can do a quick thorough revision for the last 1 week. Remember, I told you to make a notebook where you have to write all the formulas and theorems. You can refer that notebook. You can revise all the formulas. You can go through all the formulas. I told you to mark some questions in red, the questions which you can't solve. Solve those questions. Try solving those questions. And if you still can't solve them, mark them with a star. You go back to the mock questions again. See the questions which you couldn't solve in the mock paper. Try to solve them again, right? And also, if you're bad at remembering formulas, every night in the last week, remember those formulas before going to bed, right? The next point which I already told is solve the questions from mock which you hadn't solved in the first attempt, right? All right. So, they say all is well that ends well. We have talked about all the preparation, the paper pattern, how to solve the mock papers, but the final D-Day strategy is very important. It is very important that you do all the things right on the final day itself, right? The test day. Although these are strategy and pro pointers, which are very basic things, but still you need to keep these in mind. So the first one is use the first 15 minutes very effectively. So the first 15 minutes you have to use effectively, go through the paper, see the questions like these are the easy ones, these are the tough ones. So I personally would always solve the easy questions first, then the medium ones, and then the tough ones, right? So go in that order, easy, medium, and tough, right? Prioritize your attempt. So like I said, try to attempt the easy questions first, then the medium ones, and then the tough ones. So go in that order. Beware of the silly mistakes that you make often. So in the mock test, you would have seen like these are the small silly mistakes which I make very frequently. Try to avoid making those mistakes. Ensure speed and accuracy. So I would suggest you to not overthink on the questions, because when you overthink, your speed becomes slow, right? So try to think less and don't even do extra steps. The extra steps won't fetch you any extra marks. So let's say if you have a 1 mark question, write the formula and give the answer to the point. So ensure speed, ensure accuracy. Keep an eye on the watch. Well, time is very important. I told you how to, allocate the time in the paper. So keep an eye on the watch and solve the questions according to the time which is allocated. Marks are provided for each step. So even if you write the given information, it will fetch some marks for you. So in lengthy 5 marks answers, steps also give you marks. So never leave anything empty. Do something, write something, but make sure the steps are correct. So the steps would also fetch you some marks. Excuse me. Attempt all the questions in the paper. Never leave any question. So like I said, you would have steps. Those steps would also give you marks, right? So it's better that you attempt everything. And these are the final tips. Cleanliness is next to godliness. So I would suggest you to have a clean answer sheet, maintain margin, clean margin. And on the right hand side, you can do all the calculations. What some people do is they do some calculation at the last sheet, which I would not recommend, because turning pages takes a lot of effort and then you might take up some wrong value. So it's better you do calculation on the right hand side. Do not skip steps. Like I said, all the steps have marks. So it's very important that you perform all the steps. Make clean labeled diagrams and graphs. The diagram should be cleanly labeled. Labeling should be proper. For example, if you have to make x-axis and y-axis, make sure that the labeling is done properly, and it should also be clean, right? So like I said, cleanliness is next to godliness. Do not forget to write unit of the answer. The unit is very, very, very important, right? You would get your marks deducted if you miss out on the units. Underline or highlight the answer. Well, if your answer is highlighted or underlined, that becomes visually appealing, and it's also very easy for the examiner to read as well, right? Do not use any slang or abbreviation. So these are the times of social media and SMS and all of that. Try not to use any of those slangs or abbreviations, and check all the solutions at the end, even if you think you're right. I told you would have 20 minutes still left if you follow the time limit. Use those 20 minutes to check all the solutions at the end. Alright, so that was all for today's session. I hope these tips and tricks would help you maximize your marks in your board exams. So all the best for your board exams. Till then, keep practicing. Practice makes the man perfect, right? Perfect practice makes the man perfect. We have created a lot of lectures for you. You can always go to Byju's the Learning app, check out our videos. You can solve plenty of questions that would make you much more perfect. I'll see you guys very soon with another interesting session on Byju's classes. Till then, stay home, stay safe, keep learning, and thank you for watching.